Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'm talking to Sarah Scarratt. Sarah shared with me her first experience with clean language. Let's find out what that was like for her. Good morning, Sarah.
Morning, Ellen.
So we met about 2 years ago at the Salon de Printemps of Clean Language Association. It was a pretty fun experience where we got to do a little exercise together with a little bit of movement and dancing and all of that. So that's how we met. And actually, what I know about you is that you're an entrepreneur. You came from England and you've been living in France for the past, 30 years? No?
20 years.
Something? 20 years.
Yeah.
And I really felt the connection with you because both of us are kind of like transplanted people from another culture into this French culture. And I also know that you're a coach. You started with the NLP and now you're doing clean language and systemic modeling. And as far as I know, you're the only person doing systemic modeling in France and in French.
Yeah, at the moment, yeah.
At the moment, yeah.
Yeah.
Fun experience.
Yeah.
Do you want to add something else to that?
Well, other than, as you know, we've talked in the past, I'm working really hard to build that bridge between the UK and what's happening in different countries with systemic modelling and trying to bring it over here into France.
Okay, cool. Yes, and you're middle of France. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So, that's what I know about you. But today we're here to talk about people's first encounters with clean language. So I was wondering, Joshua, we never talked about this before. So what was your first experience with clean?
Yeah, so as you said, I'm an NLP practitioner, trainer. And while I was doing my NLP courses, I kept hearing this phrase, keep it clean, keep it clean. And I don't know how, but just sort of by coincidence, I searched online for clean language. And I found the clean language website, and I discovered that there was, in fact, a branch of clean in France. So I contacted Jennifer. I think you've talked about Jennifer in previous podcasts. And I went along to the summer school, which is an annual event where people get together to practice, to learn, and also to share their experiences of clean. And at the time, I remember saying that I felt a little bit like everybody else was on a life raft and I was the only person in the sea. And I really wanted somebody to reach out and help me get on the raft. And that was my metaphor for how I was feeling at the time. And little by little, other people in the room started talking about their metaphor and how some of them felt that they were diving in the water and some of them were on the beach. Jennifer was a lighthouse and she was shining her light over everybody. And some people were at the bottom of, and little by little, my metaphor that I'd started off with was changed and developed by everybody. So I realized that I wasn't on my own and they weren't all on a life raft. And that was my first sort of like, whoa, this stuff is good. And the power of the metaphor to enable people to come together, to share an experience, and also for your experience to be changed, but in a really gentle way. So that was my first sort of hook for clean, and to realize the power of it and its subtlety.
Subtlety. And subtlety, what kind of subtlety is that?
So it's very gentle. You know, so I really had this feeling that I was on my own at the time, and nobody said, "Oh no, you're not. Look, we're all here together." It was so it's sort of just like a gentle uncovering and developing, and going along with the person and just moving them along in a very gentle, subtle way.
Like that little movement you got there. A little gentle, subtle moving along. Wow,
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. And so that experience was like a gentle moving along, uncovering for you. Is there anything else about that?
I suppose that was also and we've talked a little bit about systemic modeling, which is very different and similar to pure clean language. So we talk about symbolic modeling, where we would enable people to build a model of their landscape by developing metaphoric symbols in that landscape. Systemic modeling is where you take a system, whether it's a team at work, a family, across a whole enterprise, a year at school or something, and you allow the individual parts of the system to work out how they do things and learn from each other how other people in the system do things. And it can be quite uncomfortable, but the whole sort of underpinning of it is to create this space where people can gently uncover the way they do things. Oh, okay, so this is how it works around here. This is how you do things. Do you want to stay the same or do you want to change? And it's creating this space. I call it a holding space or a safe space for people to unpack their stuff in a really non-judgmental way.
That sounds wonderful.
I love it.
A holding space, a gentle change.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you talk about this space, what it could do for others. What has it done for you? What has it changed for you personally since you've discovered it?
Oh, masses. So I at home with my family. You said I was an entrepreneur. I run a business with my husband. We use it in our business. I've used it in. So I've. It's one of those things that it sort of is now so part of me that it's difficult to remember what it was like before. So yeah. It's a noticing. It's accepting things as they are. And aware of a potential for change. And recently, with the confinement and everybody moving to work online, it's also opened up a whole world of possibilities for me. And I'm able to collaborate with people across the globe. And all of us working just towards people having better conversations, people having better relationships. Yeah.
And all of that, that's like what?
All of that, that's like what? It's like a doorway. It's going to sound like really crazy, but it's like a doorway to a whole magical universe.
Wow. Sounds exciting. Love it.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't quite get it's like there's the door and then there's this whole world of connections and people meeting up across the globe and coming together just to make things better.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And just to make things better, what would you like to happen like now in your life right now and in your work? What would you like to happen now?
I'm doing some really exciting collaborations. And like I say, with moving online, I'm all of a sudden gone from my sort of cellar in rural France, where it was really difficult for me to participate in some of these things, to being able to I'm working with somebody in Malaysia. We're running some training in November together. I'm working with a guy in Sweden. We're going to do some workshops together. I've got colleagues in the UK, in the States. So I just want to keep doing it. I want to find more people that I can work with. This kind of work, it's really good to do it at least in twos, because sometimes, it can have an impact. You've got to really maintain your own state. So if you can be doing it with somebody else, then you've got somebody, who's got your back. And I'm going like this because this is how it needs to be, like it's you, it's me, it's you, it's me. We're taking it in turns.
All right. Well, thank you for bearing with me on that little technical difficulty. So now we're back on another camera, looking a little grimmer than before, but nonetheless, we're here. Okay, so we were talking about connecting with others, working together, and you had this beautiful movement with your hands like that. So you also were talking about working with people. So if you could just continue on that.
Yeah, so we've got quite an exciting program called Clean for Teams, and it's either 2 full days in person, or we try and run it over 4 sessions online. And it's using the clean language tools in a practical everyday setting. So it can be on yourself, with your family, or in a team business context. It's fun, it's quite high paced, and we're starting to introduce that for Agile. It's going into some of the Agile communities as well. So we're running 2 courses in November, one in December and another one in January. So that's quite exciting.
Wow, great. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to link that information in the description then. That would be cool.
Yeah, if you can go onto it's the cleanlanguage.co.uk website, you'll find details there. Yeah.
Exciting. Okay. Well, I'm going to stop the recording now. So thanks for coming. And we'll hope to see each other in person soon.
Yeah, so thanks for inviting me. It's nice to chat, and we'll see what happens next.
Okay, great.